A couple won $60 million, but 5 years later, they asked the police to destroy their home. It's hard to believe that just 9 years ago, this same home was featured in The Dark Knight Rises as Bruce Wayne's manor. Now the building stands empty, with cracked walls covered in graffiti, and animals have taken up residence. Amateur ghost hunters are drawn to the manor, hoping to encounter the ghosts rumored to haunt the empty shell of the Rainbow House. Cassie Carrington and Matt Popham lived happily together in Staplewood, England. They loved each other very much, but felt that they were missing adventure in their lives. The two lovebirds could never have expected what would happen after they entered the Euro Lottery. Things would take a strange turn. They felt like they were only just finding their way as young adults. Matt was a home decorator and painter, while Cassie was a supervisor at a store. They were happy living in a one-bedroom apartment, getting by. But when they decided to try their luck once the Euro jackpot had hit $60 million, they thought nothing of it. Then they found out that they had won. They tried to be as modest as they could with the money that they won. They just wanted a wedding and new cars. After moving into a nicer home, they decided to stay in the same neighborhood. After all, it was where they both grew up and met. They felt that every little problem they ever had could now be solved with the winnings. But this would set a chain of events in motion that couldn't be stopped. The couple started going on more and more holidays and even gave some money to their friends. One friend received $1.7 million to help them get out of debt. The son said it's a fantastic gesture and proves that they don't intend to leave their friends behind. But soon after, the couple decided to make a few changes that would clearly be a mistake. The Rainbow House is found in Nottingham, on the grounds of Walton Hall. The mansion notably known for being Wayne Manor in The Dark Knight Rises. Matt and Cassie fell in love with the property pretty much immediately. It was a 7-bedroom mansion that they could do anything they could dream of with. The Rainbow House has heritage, being an Art Deco mansion built in the 1930s. The recently married couple decided to buy it at what they thought was a steal, $1.6 million. I have often painted these huge houses and wondered what it would be like to live in one. Now I can find out, Matt told social media. But after 7 years, the property has gained much notoriety in the area. The couple didn't move in immediately. They knew the renovations would cost them $6 million. The couple didn't seem to mind the price, since they still had $60 million, but the locals didn't seem to like their idea to demolish the old mansion to build a new one on the property. They wanted their house to lie mostly underground and be eco-friendly, with solar panels, a pool, and a cinema. They even wanted to build another house on the property, with a 10-car garage. The name they wanted to call their property was Serenity, which would turn out to be quite an ironic name. The couple's plans were very big, but they were more than confident they could accomplish them. They had the money after all. With so much money, they weren't the slightest bit worried. But the renovations stopped just as they started for a strange reason. Matt and Cassie had it made. Not only did they purchase the mansion, but they also bought another home specifically for their closest friends and family. With so much money in their bank, it was strange that something caused them to completely abandon the project. Instead of an innovative new building appearing in its place, the Rainbow House stands empty and largely unchanged. What happened? Just 7 years ago, the famous mansion had the potential to become a dream home. Now, the crumbling and graffiti-covered building stands empty, the stuff of nightmares and a blight on the neighborhood. The sprawling estate is overgrown with whispering grass. The mansion stares vacantly from the hill with its windowless eyes. The house has become a hotspot for teenage rebels looking for a thrill, and the hellish mansion doesn't disappoint. Local residents claim that vandals regularly break into the property to smash things, set fires, and commit other crimes, despite it being boarded up with tall security fences that surround the entire property. It wasn't long before the derelict house became known as the scariest place in Nottingham to have your photo taken, which, of course, only attracted more ghost hunters. Neighbors are constantly complaining about the property, from the untidy and unkempt garden that looks like a forest to the offensive graffiti that covers the mansion's exterior. One neighbor told the Daily Mail, "The Tophams have shed loads of money and should be spending some to end this farce, or at least on security. We have been told by the council that all the toilets have been smashed, leaving the drains open. That, in turn, attracted rats." Another neighbor explained in an interview, "There is also an empty swimming pool, which is a real danger too. I'm surprised no one has been seriously hurt in there." So, where were Matt and Cassie while all this was happening? Just when Cassie and Matt thought life couldn't get any better, Cassie found out she was pregnant. The two soon-to-be parents finally felt like their family was complete. While Cassie and Matt were having the times of their lives with their new fortune, the couple had completely neglected their dream mansion. They had no idea what state it was in. When Cassie and Matt went back to the mansion to see what all the uproar was about, they were disgusted to see it in such a state. Toilets were smashed up, trash was scattered everywhere, and rats and other creatures were running wild. Occult symbols were spray-painted on the walls, and the entire house was a death trap and a serious health and safety hazard. Neighbors were livid that Cassie and Matt had let it get this bad, but things were about to get even worse. Bearing all this in mind, it's perhaps surprising that the house hasn't been demolished already. But even though planning approval had been granted, the plans were put on hold because the Teletubby house became too expensive to build. As a result, no action was taken, and Rainbow House was allowed to fall into disrepair. A resident of the area, who wished to remain anonymous, said, "They're really lucky kids with really bad taste. Not too much sense in it," said another neighbor. "It almost seems like they dreamed it up and decided to do it without thinking." Another neighbor, who also asked not to be named, said, "It is a bit of an eyesore though. It won't be long until it starts crumbling down. It's been there for years and nothing's changed with it, so I wouldn't be surprised if nothing happens for a good long while yet." The local council is well aware of the situation. A recent council report, as quoted by UK Sith, describes the house as a victim of antisocial behavior, vandalism, numerous arson and nuisance fire attempts. The property is now in a state where every opening has been blocked up and secured by steel sheets. Regarding the rumored ghost haunting the building, given its current condition, the council is likely to consider a new application. As a result, the Tophams have requested the police to file for the demolition of the house on their behalf. Despite the couple's plans to construct a different house on the land, there has been no indication of what it might entail. Unfortunately, the only ghosts on the property seem to be those of wasted opportunity. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.